Good morning. I'm Grant Higgison with Parker Executive Search, and I'm here with Sharrona Reaves, who's Assistant Women's Basketball Coach and Recruiting Coordinator at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. This is a mock interview this morning. We'll ask about 4 or 5 questions. Sharrona, thank you for joining us here this morning.
Thank you for
I know you've been a head coach in the past, so this should be old hat for you, right?
It should be. I hope, Grant. We're going to see.
Well, good. Well, let's just dive right in. First question. In 5 minutes, just talk to me a little bit about your background, why you do what you do, and why you're ready to be a head coach again.
Okay. Born and raised in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The middle daughter of 3 girls from my mom and dad. Grew up in a household where my parents were very blue collar, worked in a factory, so they kept us in sports a lot. Took a liking to basketball, and that was just kind of my direction from the start. I had a great high school career, had a great college career, played at the University of Alabama, was fortunate to be in a women's Final Four, play in a women's Final Four, was picked as team captain, some of the things that, I really was a great experience for me at Alabama. Right out of college, I went into coaching. First job was at Troy, had a great experience there, was at Troy for 3 years, and in this process, I always knew that I wanted to have a family, so I took some time off and got married, had 2 kids, and coached high school basketball for a while, which was fun, and wanted to get back to the college level, so my first job back was at West Virginia. Took over, went in and helped build a program there that a new head coach had just taken over, and kind of got West Virginia's name out on the map, and had some successful seasons there and played for a few Big East championships. And then from there, I wanted to just kind of know where I was as a leader in the head position and get an understanding of that. And through the advice of one of my mentors, I took a D2 head coaching job in Long Island, New York, which was great for me on so many levels. Learned a lot and just learned about the difference of your position as the assistant and then stepping into that head seat and the different things that matter in that position, and did well there, played for a championship there as well in my first head coaching job, and then wanted to get back to Division I, had an opportunity to go and work at Mississippi State, which was another great experience for me, another program that was very successful, and we did some really successful things there, and then had a life situation that I needed to step away from the game for a while, and went into administration and compliance. Which was really great as well for me, because it gave me a different outlook on the compliance piece. So now, as a coach again, when we have to talk about eligibility and waivers and different things that come up, I understand the process of it after having worked in the compliance piece. And was sitting in my office in compliance and got a phone call from an AD at a junior college in Florida that wanted to know if I was interested in coming and being the head coach, and went home and talked to my children about it, and they were both like, "Mom, you're a coach. This is what you do. Get back into coaching." So I took the job. Got there kind of late. I started actually the first day of practice, so I didn't get to do any recruiting, but just fell in love with the girls, and they worked really hard, and they bought into me, and was excited about being there, and then got a call from West Virginia to come back and coach at West Virginia again. So my kids were familiar with that environment, and I was familiar with the staff there. So again, went back and had another great experience there. Big East championship, and then Holly Worley called. And being a Tennessee girl, and you get a phone call from Tennessee, and get an opportunity to be closer to home. You make that decision. And for me, it was a challenge, because throughout my career, there's levels of players where you are that you're probably going to get a legitimate look at. So for Tennessee, for me, it was the opportunity to go and be able to recruit the top kids in the country, and we've been able to do that. We've been fortunate to have the #1 and the #3 recruiting classes back to back since I've been there, and so that's been an honor to see us put that together and make that work. And I just feel like at this time in my career, I've come full circle. Like, I've had a chance to do it all at every level, from high school to Division II to junior college, and I'm just at a place where I think the next step for me is to run my own program again.
Well, great. Talk to me a little bit about what your vision is for your program. I think that word is used a lot, and that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. In taking over a program now, how do you see your program being run, and from a big picture perspective, what's the vision of your program?
I would say the vision for my program is to be a championship level program that operates with excellence, and that excellence has to exist on the court, in the classroom, campus, community, and obviously as a whole with our staff involved in that, compliance, that piece as well, that functions like a big family. Because family is majorly important to me. excuse me, and you'll probably hear me say that a lot, just the family piece. I want that championship mentality in everything that we do. We carry ourselves as champions every day, you know, going to class, making sure that we're great students on campus, that we're getting out into the community and being involved. And then the family piece for me is I feel like that while we develop our players as great players and making sure that they're getting their educations. I think parents who allow us to recruit their children trust us. There's a level of trust that they give in that process. And part of our job as well is to make sure that these young ladies graduate and are ready with confidence to go out into the next phase of life. So my vision for that is to help the whole person develop, not just the basketball player and be successful in that, but also to be successful in the next phase of your life.
Great. So as we implement that vision, obviously you're going to need people around you that will help you implement that. Can you talk to me a little bit about putting together your staff? What's going to be your process? What are going to be some characteristics that you're going to look for in your assistants to help implement and carry out your vision for the program?
Well, to me, staff is probably going to be the biggest thing that you do and who you hire. And for me, I want people that are going to push me to be better. I'm not interested in yes people. I'm not interested in designating people in positions where you're the recruiter, you're the X's and O's, you're the paper pusher. I want people who want to be involved in every aspect, that are really strong at recruiting, that can X's and O's and bring ideas in that aspect, and then also be able to do game breakdown and film and be able to be an extension of me, because I think in today's society, head coaches have to be more visible on the recruiting trail, and you want to have that staff that's back on campus when the head coach has to be away, that's going to basically have things run the way you would run them when you're not there, and know that the kids are going to get that same, you know, experience and the same unity across the board. So I'm looking for people that are team players, that want to work together as a team and function as a team and have the same goal, but maybe bringing different strengths, but that we're united in everything that we do, because I do believe that united staffs carry over with the players. When they see that, they understand that's the model. Right. If our coaches are united, then we too have to stand and be united together and work and make great things happen.
That's right. We were talking a little bit in the hallway earlier about recruiting and how it's the lifeblood of any program. Talk to me a little bit about how you would set up ideally your recruiting with your staff, and then to that point, when you go out and evaluate student athletes, what are you looking for, not just in skill sets as a basketball player, but off the court as well?
Well, I think integrity and who they are is important. As far as my staff is concerned, where are their strengths? Where do their strengths and locations lie, and who they know and their connections obviously is probably the most basic fit of where everybody will work. But again, like I said, I want people that are capable to do a lot. So and recruiting a lot of different areas. So I think that for my staff, where your strengths are is where you'll be, but as far as the type of player that we look at, I think we have to do our homework. I think it's very important that we do our homework on the caliber of player that we're recruiting. It's just really important in society today that you do that, and I think that comes from reaching out to coaches that have coached them, teachers on campus, counselors. I think that you just really have to do your homework and really build a relationship, because that's how you really know who you're recruiting and what you're getting. Spending time talking to family, extended family members, and getting to know the whole life of that student athlete. But to me, I think integrity and work ethic are the two primary things in a student athlete that we will look at in my program. Is, are they good people, and do they have work ethic? Because if you're those two things, I think you can just be successful in pretty much anything that you do.
That's right. Well, with the timing of our opening here, we're going to need you to hit the ground running. So, I like the fact you've been a head coach before, but talk to me about what those first 90 days are going to look like, so I know where I may need to help you out in implementing a staff and those types of things. But you've been through it before on a couple of occasions. It sounds like one of your timelines was really short in terms of getting started. So maybe what you learned from those processes, what would you do again, what would you change? But in your mind, what does that first 90 days look like to you?
The first 90 days, I think they go in segments. Immediately, I want to get with my team and spend time with the girls and get to know them collectively, and then spend time with them individually and their families. Obviously, I want to reach out to my recruits right away and stabilize that situation and let them know how excited we are that they're continuing to come and stick with their decision to stick with us at State College and State University. And then from there, I want to get out with academics and know where we are, make sure that all of our players are where we need to be, understanding that our recruits are well and able to come in and that we don't have any issues there. And from there, I want to get out into my administration, sit down with my AD, sit down with my president, my senior women's administrator, my sports information director, and really get the lay and the feel of the land and just what's worked, what we can be better at, where we are, the direction that we want to go, and just have some dialogue there. And I'm a big campus person, so I like to attend campus events because I think it gives you an opportunity to meet the professors that are going to be coaching your student athletes and giving the student body a chance to know who you are. Because the more excited they get about your program, the more visibility that you're going to get from them showing up for your games and getting out and doing that. And then obviously, you got to hire a staff. You got to get your staff together and find people that are going to fit, the different things that you want to accomplish within your staff. And workouts, you have your workouts that you've got to get planned and get the girls in the gym and start working with strength and conditioning. And from there, July. So we start with meeting the players to getting them in the gym to now we're focused on recruiting in July and making sure we target the young ladies that we want and planning ourselves accordingly with that. And then from there, we're transitioning into fall with school getting ready to start. And I'm a big retreat person. I've always loved on the staffs that I've been on where we go away for retreats and we sit and just talk about the season and what we want to accomplish and our goals for the season and lining up what we want to do as soon as the girls touch down on campus and having a clear, direct goal on how we're going to attack the year and then just basically assessing along the way.
Well, good. As the head women's basketball coach here, it's a very visible position, very valued member of our community. So talk to me a little bit about, in some of your previous roles, how you've been external in terms of engaging the community, engaging former student athletes, making them all feel special and a part of the program. That's something that's going to be a big part of our community here with this program. So can you talk to me a little bit about those backgrounds and experiences that you
I absolutely will. And my first head coaching job really prepared me for that because as assistants, we kind of stay on our grind. We're out recruiting, we're with the girls, we're on the court. So we don't always see as assistants all that goes into what the head coach does as far as community and being out in the community and with alumni and different things like that. So that's one of the biggest takeaways that I took from being a head coach the first time was that you think you're going to show up and just get to X and O, and there's so much more to it than that and so much more required of you than that. And I've learned a lot. I've been fortunate to work in programs where we've had programs where all of the women who run businesses in the community come in and sit and meet with our girls and mentor our girls and build relationships with them and help with internships with the girls on the team so that, when they've graduated, these are opportunities now because they have experience in this field and that field, which I love because it goes into my vision for my program of being able to help them beyond the basketball piece and be successful out into the world. And I think that's something that I carried. I've, been really good about getting out into the community. And like I said, I'm a big campus person. Children's hospitals, we've been fortunate enough to get out and do that and meet and bring in a fan base and interest in the program by being able to get out and do that. So it would be a lot of things I do and really feel comfortable at because I understand that the visibility brings the buy-in and the interest, which brings people to come in and support, and that's what you really want is for your players to be supported and your program to be supported.
Yeah. What's one thing I don't know about you that I need to know? I can't find on a resume or on Google. What's one thing I need to know about you?
I'm well-rounded.
Okay.
I'm well-rounded. I've experienced a little bit of everything in this process, and so I feel like that I can relate to every player. I played junior college for a year, so I can relate to that player that's coming out of junior college going into Division I. I've coached junior college. I've been at the Division II level. I've coached the high school level. I've coached at mid-majors. I've coached at the highest level that you can coach. So I feel like that I have a great understanding of just every level of the game, and it's well-rounded me to be able to connect with a lot of different people, a lot of different levels.
Well, good. Well, I've asked a few questions of you here this morning, so I'm going to let you close us out with a closing statement here this morning.
Well, first of all, I'm excited to be here and to be getting the opportunity to interview for State University. I feel like that this university is a great fit for me, and it plays to my strengths as a coach and all that I just shared with you about my experiences along the way. I know that the program is in a building state, and I've been fortunate to help build programs, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the opportunity to come in at ground level and take this thing to a championship level, and I'm excited to work with the administration, and everyone that I've met has just been awesome and has given me so much excitement to have the opportunity to get here and get going. So I appreciate the opportunity. This has been a lot of fun.
Well, great. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.